Good evening, this is Viewpoint. I'm Zaka Jacob. Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra is in Karnataka. It's currently on a break ahead of the Dussehra celebrations. A break only from the walking, not from political pot shots. Rahul Gandhi has led the charge against the state government, raised the corruption charge against the incumbent Mumbai government. Meanwhile, the BJP took the QR code fight one notch further up and put up posters of former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah featuring on them. Scan the code and it takes you to reports of how the former Congress government went soft on the PF5. In this election season, it's a no-holds-barred attack between the two as corruption versus appeasement plays out. Who has the edge in Karnataka?
कर्नाटक में हिंदुस्तान की शायद सबसे भ्रष्ट सरकार है। किसानों से, मजदूरों से, छोटे व्यापारियों से, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम बिजनेस वालों से 40% कमीशन लेने वाली सरकार है।
ಹಿಂದೂ ವಿರೋಧಿ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಅವನ ಜಯಂತಿ ಮಾಡುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿನೆಂಥ ಕಡು ಹಿಂದೂ ವಿರೋಧಿಯಾಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ
All right, so it is vote bank politics going on, appeasement on the one side, corruption on the other. The decision, let's now bring you up to speed with what exactly Siddaramaiah's government is accused of in response to this PayCM campaign. The accusation is that the cabinet under Siddaramaiah back in 2015 dropped cases, multiple cases against PFI workers. The Congress government at the time, the allegation is, withdrew as much as 175 cases against over 1,000 members of the PFI. The consequence of that, the PFI functionaries who were booked for grave charges like rioting were given a clean chit. The objection was that the BJP is saying at the time the police, the top cops, had filed a note with the cabinet saying that PFI is a dangerous organization and against giving this clean chit. The accused have indulged in violent anti-social activities. A withdrawal of cases against them would lead to a spurt in communal activities. The allegation and the charge from the BJP is that the Congress strengthened its vote bank at the expense of security and that Siddaramaiah disregarded police recommendations not to go slow on these cases. On the other hand, the Congress charge against the Mumbai government is straight up. It is that the Mumbai government is a 40% commission sarkar. Let me now go across to our guests who are joining us. Charu Pragya is spokesperson of the BJP. Lavanya Barlal, spokesperson of the Congress party. T.R. Prasad Gowda of the JDS will be joining us. And B.S. Arun, our senior journalist, is there on the broadcast as well. Lavanya, let me start with you first. So this is the BJP's charge. In response to PayCM, they have come out with Sidda PFI campaign where they are saying that when Mr. Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister in 2015-16, the government then, at that time, the Congress government had withdrawn over 175 cases against PFI functionaries. Please respond.
Good evening. There are 3 cases that the BJP has accused Congress of in the last few years, and all 3 cases have been declared by the CBI as fake. If you look at today, Paramesh Mehta's case, which the BJP and its leaders like Shobha Karandlaje, who is a union minister now, claimed that it was a murder, despite the police and despite the Manipal hospital claiming that there are no proof of assault, but it was an accidental death. They went on claiming that it was a murder, and they did a communal, they created communal disharmony in the state. There is divisive politics that is being practiced by the BJP. Today, the CBI has once again come back with a report and said that it was an accident and not a murder. So the same with Ravi's case as well. So BJP has been time and again raising unsubstantiated allegations against Congress and its leaders.
You are
And as
saying it's
far
unsubstantiated allegations. Let me ask Charu Pragya of the BJP to respond. Charu Pragya, Lavanya Ballal just gave 3 examples where CBI, which is not a Congress investigating agency, it is the central investigating agency. CBI has given clean chit in at least 3 of these cases that you are referring to of so-called PFI functionaries. Charu.
And Zaka, you have said it yourself. Out of 175, if 3 cases could not stand, it's a very, very tiny percentage. The fact is that PFI activists, which were actually previously SIMI activists, they have wreaked havoc across the country. Their activities, which are both weaponized, which are also extremist, which are working at changing the mindset of so many youth of this country, is there for everybody to see. They are involved in every illegal, every anti-national activity that you can think of, whether it is murders of people, whether it is making sure planned riots are carried across the country. So much of weaponization, terrorization, everything is carried out at the hands of PFI, and it is actually a sad scenario that political parties in India today still want to support PFI. Congress and Aam Aadmi Party being 2 of them. We have gathered enough proof finally to ban PFI. See, there has been numerous debates where I have been asked, if PFI is so bad, why has it not been banned? And every single time I have said that it has been banned in several states previously, but the ban had to be removed when they moved the courts.
Okay, no, but Charu, the moot point is, how are you exonerating the charge of 40% commission sarkar, which is what Rahul Gandhi downwards in the Congress party are accusing Mr. Bommai's government of? How are you absolving that by saying PFI bhagya? That is a separate issue, this is a separate issue.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And Zaka, it is quite rich coming from Mr. Gandhi, who's infamous for running a UPA sarkar, where they would proudly boast and say, "हम यहाँ से 1 रुपए निकालते हैं और आपको पता है जनता तक कितने पहुँचते हैं." Every single point of pilferage and leakage has been plugged by Modi government, has been plugged by making sure that direct debit transfers are being done. Mr. Gandhi today say all of this because he sits on a high horse without understanding the ground reality of any state. They lost their government in Karnataka as well. So when you
Lavanya, respond.
Like this,
the other charge like that you have to face, not just going soft on PFI, but the other charge you have to face. Let me ask Lavanya Ballal this. The other charge that you have to face is that you are veritably now having a front for Tipu Sultan and for Tipu Jayanti, and of course BJP bringing back old reports about how when Mr. Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister, Tipu Jayanti got officially marked in the state. It is passing through Mysuru. It is, I think there's a pit stop at one of the big mosques that Tipu Sultan built in Srirangapatna. So instead of Bharat Jodo, this is now becoming Bharat Todo. Please respond to that charge, Lavanya Ballal.
Zaka, first of all, I do not understand why BJP has a problem with Bharat Jodo Yatra. It is a yatra to unite the nation. I'm sure BJP has issues with this because it does not go with their idea of, divisive politics. Having said that, also, when it comes to the PFI issue, Mr. Gandhi has made it very clear there should be zero tolerance towards any form of communalism. As far as the Tipu Sultan controversy is concerned, I think the BJP has very conveniently forgotten the 2 of its CMs of Karnataka, B.S. Yediyurappaji and Jagadish Shettar, have participated in the Tipu Sultan Jayanti, and they have continuously done so. And as far as the ASI or the concerned authorities, which looks into these issues and claims, hey, this particular place of worship was built on of something else, as far as it is not declared, and every other Indian citizen acknowledges it as a temple or a church or a mosque, it will be viewed as such. If they have issues, they should raise it with a concerned department.
Also, let me ask T.R. Prasad Gowda. Yeah, one second, Charu. I'll come back. I'll circle back to you. Let me ask T.R. Prasad Gowda. The fact of the matter is that ultimately the people of Karnataka, instead of debates over meritorious issues, whether it is job opportunities, whether it is infrastructure, whether it is ease of living, ease of doing business, those should be the issues that should be the campaign talking points in the run-up to Karnataka election. On the one hand, you have 40% Commission Sarkar ka charge, and then you have, on the other hand, Tipu and PFI sort of sympathizers charge. the people of Karnataka are the ultimate losers because none of these two issues are material bread and butter issues.
Very well valid your observation. I should hands off to you. That's what we have been talking about, and we are trying to bring it to the light, enlighten the people of this country and the state. Instead of as you said, well said, instead of talking about job opportunities nor developmental activities, even the state government is trying to people should forget everything. Their way of tackling the things are like that, and instead of doing developmental activities, corruption is very much in Karnataka, and people are not at all happy. People are fed up with the way the government, and moreover, law and order in the state of Karnataka is totally gone,
Okay.
and because of this, things are because Karnataka itself is having a rich, culture. It's going on. The people are just living like that, and government is nothing doing anything, and weak government, and even in the state also, central also, they are not at all supporting
Okay,
our people.
let me ask
and we
BS
are very sad.
Arun. The point that's being raised is Bharat Jodo in a state where the Congress party seemingly has a chance against the BJP, but all these controversies, whether it is around Tipu Sultan, whether it's around PFI and Congress government when Siddaramaiah was in power going soft against PFI, are these issues that are going to hurt the Congress party, particularly as it comes in the middle of Bharat Jodo? Or are these issues that are diversionary in nature from the real issues at hand?
I think both are correct. One thing is this might impact the Congress during the elections, but then it's still more than 6 months away. If the BJP continues to keep up the pressure like this on Congress, then it might sort of affect or impact the election prospects of the Congress party. But then Congress is not keeping quiet, as you have mentioned. Already they have made several charges. The allegation by the contractors and not by the Congress, by the contractors about 40% bribery charges, that has come as a godsend for the Congress to make allegations against the BJP, and it's certainly going to make use of that during the elections. And these both Bharat Jodo as well as the PayCM QR code seem to have rattled BJP like anything, because for the first few days after this QR code campaign started, BJP didn't know what to do, perhaps. But then later they sort of came around, and today's QR code, I think, contains quite a few factual issues for which Congress will have to give an answer. So the tussle between the two parties continues, and I'm sure this is going to be the case.
So Lavanya, at the end of the day, two issues. One, specifically on the charge of going easy on these 175 cases, you've not given a rebuttal because 3 out of 175 does not make an overwhelming number. And number two, most importantly, is somehow on the divisive issues, on the commonly sensitive issues, Congress seems to be caught on the back foot, appeasing a certain community, appeasing a certain vote bank, because you're more worried about the vote bank than you're about the law and order situation or the security situation in the state. What explains close to 1,600 people getting a let-off? And this is on top of reports that you must have seen last week that in the local body elections, I think that happened in 2015 or 16, many of these PFI candidates were asked to withdraw and vote in favor of the Congress candidates. Is there some kind of understanding between PFI and Congress? That's what the BJP is alleging.
Zaka, first of all, you are giving me all this data. Is it data provided by the police? Which department has provided this information is what I would like to say. Ask, because we will not react to unsubstantiated allegations by the BJP, because BJP is very famous for hiding all their incompetence by making all these false allegations. And they have Paramesh Mehta's case, I will bring it up again. They claimed it was a murder and Siddaramaiah ji's government protected the murderers, whereas CBI has now claimed it was an accident, like Siddharamayaji's government went on saying. So these are the claims that people have been doing. All these days they were talking
So
about
what
SDPI.
about the remaining 170 plus cases, ma'am? One or two cases does not make
Can I come in, please?
this thing. Yeah, well, 1 second, Charu. Let her respond. What about the remaining 150 plus cases?
Zaka, can I please complete?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yes.
Yes. So as I was saying, these unsubstantiated allegations, where do you get these facts from? Is it from the BJP's end? Is the BJP making these claims? I'll repeat it again. We will not respond to these claims by the BJP. And all these days they were talking about SDPI, and now they have changed it to PFI. I would like to ask, when are they going to ban the SDPI? They claim that is an anti-national.
Okay. Charu Pragya, Lavanya saying that we don't believe in these numbers. These numbers have come from the BJP. She's also refuting that the police had raised objections back in 2015 when these cases were asked to be withdrawn.
So, Zaka, I find Congress chief and spokespersons a little funny, because here is Mr. Gandhi making all sorts of weird statements, whether he's measuring atta in liters or making sona out of aloo, or just randomly quoting figures and saying, yahan pe problem hai, yahan pe ye dikkat hai, without any hard data backing it up. And that's the problem of the Congress party. They have their heads in the clouds and they don't understand anything. Even on television, if you can come and talk without facts, it's shameful. So if you are saying that 3 cases were fake, madam, please explain 172 real cases. You have no answer for 172 real cases. They bring everything back to Bharat Jodo Yatra. The fact is, Bharat Jodo is of less trouble to us, more trouble to Congress itself. Because since they started the Yatra, every state they are reaching, they're only causing problems. They're only breaking up their own party further. They're only increasing controversies of the Congress and washing dirty linen in public. So I think it is Congress which needs to be worried about
Lavanya
Bharat
Ballal,
Jodo
while it is true, Lavanya Ballal, while it is true that yes, Rahul Gandhi has been getting crowds in Kerala as well as in Karnataka, there's been fair share of controversies also. Not least is that this entire drama around who will be your next Congress president has happened in the middle of Bharat Jodo, taking away attention from Bharat Jodo. There was controversy around him meeting a Christian pastor in Tamil Nadu who had very controversial views. There was controversy around him walking with a child wearing a hijab. What sort of message was that conveying? And of course, now this latest controversy around the PFI Bhagya.
And what are they trying to achieve with this?
Lavanya, please, thank you. Lavanya, please, thank you. Yeah, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, Lavanya.
Zaka, I'm appalled that you would use the term used by the BJP about what was that PFI Bhagya. I'm appalled that you would use that term.
This is what the BJP is saying. I'm not using it. The BJP is saying PFI Bhagya.
All right. So here is what I'm going to say. Charu had a lot of allegations, as is the want of BJP. Here is what we would like to ask them. Let them talk about the 40% charges that, people are talking about in Karnataka, because that is a setback for the state. As far as presidential elections of AICC is concerned, Zaka, this was a process set in motion long back, almost a year ago, and we knew the AICC presidential elections are coming up. Yes, there were a lot of, instances with different candidates saying they want to contest and they do not want to contest. But let me tell you, our focus is Bharat Jodo Yatra. The Yatra will come. And it is something that has rattled the BJP, and that is why every day BJP is coming up with new controversies. The T-shirt controversy, and Preeti Gandhi went on to make very vile comments about Rahul Gandhiji's niece and about the women who were coming and meeting, about young girls who were coming and meeting him. It shows the kind of thought process the entire BJP mechanism has.
Okay, right now, T.R. Prasad Gowda, I come back to the question of the most pressing issues as far as the Karnataka electorate are concerned. All right, we've just lost T.R. Prasad Gowda. B.S. Arun, the most pressing issues as far as the Karnataka electorate is concerned is the question of livelihoods, is the question of the quality of their life. It's the question of, you go to Bangalore even today, I mean, it's ridiculous, the infrastructure mess that the city is in. The traffic is a complete mess. And we saw just last month, one bout of rain and how badly the city was affected. Nobody is talking about any of these issues. And unfortunately, the reality of Karnataka today happens to be that like it is in other societies across, in other states across this country, there is a degree of polarization. And the Congress party, whether it likes it or not, and even the JDS to some extent, I would say, is being seen as minority parties. They are not being seen as parties that speak for the majority community.
Yeah, unfortunately, these issues like housing or education or health, these issues have not figured in this Bharat Jodo Yatra, and I feel that should have been the case. Instead, it's been politics all the way. And just look back 2 days ago. The Congress has got an issue on the platter, and given by whom? Given by the RSS General Secretary Dattatreya Hosbale, and he has talked about people, 20 crore people still below the poverty line, inequality, in the society and things like that. The Congress should have lapped it up and should have been commenting ever since he made those statements. But what is happening? What's happening is they are harping back on the same corruption and other issues. I think these issues should get the focus
Okay.
More than the politics. But then ultimately at the end of the day, it's the politics that the two parties want to indulge in, and that's what they are doing.
I'll
day
give
in
the final
and day
word
out.
to T.R. Prasad Gowda. The feeling is that between these two big parties, the national parties, BJP and Congress, your party and smaller parties like JDS are getting squeezed out. Neither are you able to put together a coherent narrative as far as development issues are concerned, nor are you able to bat on the pitch of the BJP as far as polarizing issues are concerned. So smaller parties like yourself are getting squeezed out.
No, not at all. Now, the 2023 will make a very big difference for us because of the failures of the national parties. There was a time when the BJP started criticizing Congress. People used to listen to them because now they are nothing less than Congress. So they have not done any developmental activity, nothing. Now people are looking at us, and 2023 MLA elections, we are going to sweep the elections in the state of Karnataka, Mr. Jaka.
Okay, we'll see how it plays out. The great thing about your party is, sir, even with 30 seats, you can still come to power. It's an amazing ability that your party has, but we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much to Charu Pragya, T.R. Prasad Gowda, Lavanya Ballal, and of course, B.S. Arun. Now, the other big electoral story could likely have an impact in the Gujarat elections, in the Himachal elections, and of course, not to mention the Karnataka elections next year. The freebie or the Revdi debate, something that the Prime Minister started a few months ago when he was inaugurating the Bundelkhand Expressway. Today, the Election Commission has floated a new plan, a consultation paper, which proposes that political parties bring out details of the cost of the promises that they make, whether it is ahead of assembly elections or general elections, also lay out the state of finances in their respective states. Even as the freebies debate continues, remember the Supreme Court has formed a high-level panel to look into this. The Election Commission wants political parties to elaborate, A, on the rationale of announcing such promises, and B, also put out the costs of implementing those promises. Sources in the Election Commission say that while political parties cannot be stopped from making promises, the voter too has the right to make an informed choice. This move aims to allow voters to compare political parties and understand if these promises can indeed be met. Let me go across to Pallavi Ghosh. What's been the reaction from the various parties, whether it's Congress or Aam Aadmi Party or even regional parties for that matter, that are into a lot of these freebies, particularly during election season? Are they welcoming of this or are they not welcoming? Because do they see this as intrusion by the Election Commission on something that they feel is a legitimate promise to make during election time?
Yeah, in fact, Zaka, both Congress and Aam Aadmi Party have issued a statement where they have said that this is something which is being used by the Election Commission, which is being used by the central government and by the BJP to specifically target the opposition parties. Because, mind you, when the Prime Minister spoke about the Revdi culture, he was targeting the AAP. And when, if you look at the proposal put forward by the Election Commission, it essentially asks questions like, where will they get the funds from? Are you going to taxing people so that you can pay it off and make those kind of promises? Very clear targeting of the Aam Aadmi Party also, because that's been the allegation against them. The scams in the Delhi government, the fact that extra taxation on people in Punjab, all of it is being done so that Arvind Kejriwal, when he travels to Gujarat and to Himachal and other poll-bound states, can make those promises, even though he doesn't have those kind of funds at his disposal.
All right, Pallavi Ghosh, we'll see how this story plays itself out. So the Commission now proposing to political parties that show your finances, show your financial plan in implementing these freebies or Revdi culture. It is, of course, likely to be reignited in the context of the Gujarat election, where, again, Arvind Kejriwal is promised free electricity up to a certain number of units per month. Meanwhile, during his mega outreach in Jammu and Kashmir, Home Minister Amit Shah lashed out at those who were in power before the abrogation of Article 370. While addressing a major rally in Rajouri in Jammu, he assured the Pahadi community that the centre has approved reservation for them and it will come into effect soon. The Home Minister also said that after the abrogation of Article 370, new roads of development have opened in Jammu and Kashmir, terror incidents have decreased, students have taken up books and laptops instead of stones, and over 50,000 crores worth of investments have been pumped into Jammu and Kashmir in the last 3 years. Before addressing the rally, Shah visited the Mata Vaishno Devi shrine and offered prayers this morning, but he was very, very critical of the political dynasties that were ruling Kashmir up until now, and also talked about how some people said that there would be a bloodbath if 370 were to be abrogated. The reality is something totally different.
आपके मोदी मोदी के नारे उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो फिर पंजाब पर आग लग जाएगी। आज की ये रैली उन लोगों को जवाब है जो कहते थे धारा 370 जाएगी तो खून की नदियां बह जाएगी। जब जब भारत पर खतरा आया, ये मेरे पहाड़ी भाई गुर्जर बकरवाल चट्टान की तरह दीवार बनकर खड़े रहे। मोदी जी ने आरक्षण के लिए 370 हटाकर रास्ता खुला कर दिया है। 370 हटने के बाद शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब का आरक्षण का रास्ता खुला। और मित्रों, मैं आप लोगों को कहूंगा, जस्टिस शर्मा का कमीशन बना है। जस्टिस शर्मा ने अपनी सिफारिशें भेज दी है और वो सिफारिशों में मेरे पहाड़ी, बकरवाल और गुर्जर तीनों को आरक्षण की सिफारिश की। मित्रों, मैं आपको कहने आया हूं, देश के प्रधानमंत्री का बहुत बड़ा मन है